Joined by our NBA analyst, Jevohn Shepherd from Oklahoma City, where he's covering the NBA Finals for TSN. Jevohn, what a game. What a stunner. Another stunner by the Pacers. How does this team keep doing this? And what was the key to their comeback?
Well, that's been their brand of basketball for this entire playoffs, right? Comebacks and Halliburton making big shots. I thought it was pretty electric in here, and they completely took the air out of the arena, especially late in that fourth quarter. We talk about, how they did this thing, and they kept the game pretty close. And by close, I mean 10, 11 points for the duration of the game. Let's just say about 40 minutes of it. But then in that second half, what they did was they really shot the basketball extremely well from the three-point line. That keeps you in games, right? And you credit their defense as well, because OKC really didn't have a fluid offensive game. They weren't stringing together, consecutive buckets like we're accustomed to seeing them do. And then their three big players, turned the game over, took the game over in the last minute and 30 seconds where, Andrew Nembhard came up with a big stop against SGA. And, everybody expected, because Shai's a closer, they expected Shai to knock down that shot. And I thought Andrew Nembhard did a great job of standing him up, digging deep, showing some heart, showing some passion, saying, I'm not going to allow him to get this bucket. Pascal Siakam, another one, and then obviously Tyrese Halliburton, the biggest shot probably of his career thus far. And, this place was quieter than a church mouse.
It's funny because SGA said just the other day he's been playing against Andrew Nembhard since they were 9 years old. So I guess all that experience helped Nembhard out a little bit. You know what, Jevohn?
Well, just...
Oh, yeah, go on.
It helped him out, and even both those guys got into a little shoving match, and I liked it, right? A little Canadian content, a little Canadian grit, and Andrew was not backing down. And I thought early in the game, I said, this might not be the matchup for Andrew, just considering this is big bro, little bro, a guy that probably inspires you. But no, he accepted this challenge, and he showed himself late in this game.
Jevohn, Oklahoma City was massively favored in this series. Nobody was giving Indiana a chance. Is this the wake-up call to everyone about the Indiana Pacers?
Yeah, this is the wake-up call that everybody needed, right? I don't think anybody in Indiana's locker room didn't expect anything different, right? They came out here to win a basketball game in Oklahoma, and that they did game one, right? They came out with conviction, and yes, the first half, they needed to settle in, and I think you got that from them. Rick Carlisle did a great job in the second half of making some adjustments, right? Throwing Ben Mathurin out on Shai, Nesmith, different looks, and then closing out with Andrew Nembhard. But this was the wake-up call that everybody needed. This is the wake-up call that OKC needed to understand, Indiana's for real. We've been watching them in the playoffs, the comebacks and late shots by Tyrese Halliburton, and it wasn't anything different tonight.
Jevohn, you mentioned everybody expected Shai to hit that final shot to seal it for Oklahoma City. It didn't happen, but overall, how do you think the MVP did in his first finals game?
Well, you look at the numbers, right, in 38 points. I thought he came out really aggressive. There was one play, his first basket, I believe he got downhill to the left-hand side of the floor at the rim. I believe it was Nembhard that was matched up on him, got a layup and turned over his left shoulder, and it was Shaq sitting in that left corner there and had a couple words for everybody in that direction. And we usually don't see Shai give any emotion, any passion, so I know he was letting out a lot. But the concerning part for me was it was on 30 shots, right? So you got to get a bit more efficient going into game two, and also incorporating your teammates a bit more so that the offense flows, the offense is a bit more fluid. But if we're talking about, your first appearance at an NBA Finals, 38 points, came out aggressive, I don't think he fears much, and I expect him to adjust for game two.
And game two will be Sunday night. Jevohn will chat with you after that game as well.